Hello, colleagues. Thank you very much for joining us today for our seminar. Firstly, though, let me pay my respects and acknowledge the ancestors, elders and family of the Gadigal people from the Eora Nation, where I'm joining you from today. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from which you're coming from. My name is Marnie Watson, and I am the Managing Director for Australia and New Zealand for SunMS4. And I'm joined by my colleague, Mr. Simon Ang, who is our Senior Digital Campaigns Manager, who's coming to us from Malaysia. Now, I'm very conscious that I've just mentioned SunMS4 twice, but you can see in the logo above me that it says Acumen. So let me just clarify that Acumen is the education division of SunMS4. We recently rebranded, and so you can see just underneath the logo, it says part of the SunMS4 group. So it's still us, but with a nice little new brand. Now, my colleague Simon is a key member of our division within Acumen called PACE. PACE stands for Prospect, Admit, Convert and Enroll. And so basically PACE is a service within Acumen which helps universities, colleges and school clients deal with their peaks and troughs that emerge through student lead acquisition, admissions processing, GTE check processes. Simon's had 20 years working in marketing, and since 2015 he's specialised particularly in digital lead generation and providing an omni-channel experience to clients. He is a Google and Facebook Blueprint certified practitioner and trainer. And he's also very passionate about entrepreneurship, which is what he's doing his postgraduate studies in at the moment. My background is very much international education. I've been working in that area since 1996, spent 23 of those years based in Southeast Asia, working for UNSW Global, study group and up education, and working across the full portfolio of student recruitment and delivery of education. I'm coming to you from a slightly rainy Sydney. And maybe Simon, do you want to pull up our slides actually? Let's get started. Today, so as Simon pulls that up for us, thank you very much. Today we're going to be having a chat about diversity and growth in international student enrolments. And we're going to specifically focus on digital marketing and also admissions. Now, on this slide here, the next slide, Simon, if you could, in a webinar that we did in December last year, it was very interesting to look back on this earlier as I was preparing for this chat today. We predicted that Australian education providers would experience record numbers of applications, and that would create opportunities, but also challenges as a result. The reason we were crystal balling that at the time was that our UK clients had been through exactly the same situation, and we were helping many of them deal with the challenges, which we've captured on the next slide, Simon, if you would, dealing with a lot of those challenges that arise from having a large volume of student applications coming through, and the fraud and the challenges that can emerge from that. So I think this is an interesting moment to pause, particularly for our New Zealand colleagues who may be listening in, just to look at the experience the UK went through. Australia has also mimicked in semester one and is likely to come through for New Zealand as well. Excuse me. What I'm going to do, rather than focusing on these challenges and looking at the admissions, I'm going to pass over to my colleague Simon, who's going to talk to us about some of the challenges around addressing large geographies as you look at your digital marketing, and then we'll work our way through to having a chat about admissions towards the end. So Simon, I will pass over to you.
Okay, thanks Marnie. I'm pleased to meet everyone here. Just a quick introduction. I'm the campaign manager for Acumen for the Southeast Asia region, stationing in Kuala Lumpur. Anyone here planning to come to Kuala Lumpur soon? As the border reopens, if you are in town, do connect with me or my colleague Kenny to welcome you all. As mentioned earlier, I've been about 20 years marketing field, past 10 years specializing in digital marketing and digital transformation. But past 3 years, I've been helping many institutions sharing their brand stories in South Asia and Southeast Asia. Coming to the end of this first quarter, 2022, first quarter, that is fast. This is fast. I believe the evaluation at this quarter will be more like the beginning of the post-COVID period. We'll be sharing some exciting stories on digital campaign and also exciting insights on digital tools, on lead generation and student admissions. It will be about 25 minutes, short but insightful. Okay, let's get started. To begin with, I'm sure you all know that one of the main challenges for institutions across this region, South Asia and Southeast Asia, is the geographical diversity in it. A total of 16 countries, actually there are more than that, but potentially there are 16. Different languages, different time zone, different entry level, and different exam period. Any one of you here been to all these 16 countries? I've heard so many interesting and tiring traveling stories from my colleague Mani and also Kenny. If institutions intend to employ many resources to cover this region, it is not effective in terms of cost and the overall student's experience. But with technology, institutions can actually reduce the headcount and cost, and at the same time, increase the personalized attention. So institutions can easily scale their recruitment business when demand increases, and vice versa, specifically in this region. Thanks to the internet, most of the digital platform or digital tool are accessible here, this region. With only a few exceptions. India do not have TikTok. If you want to do ads in Vietnam, you definitely need to try Zalo. Korea itself, we're using Kakao, just to name a few. However, there are also some additional challenges. Let me share with you. Recently, I was engaged with Google to solve some technical problem for my digital campaign. And we agreed on a date for a call through the email. But on the appointment date, I did not even pick up the international call, which is from Dublin, Ireland. Non-local, international number, unlisted from my contact. Will any one of you answering these calls? These are some of the challenges for institutions that need to overcome in connecting with their prospective students in the mid-funnel sales strategies. Next, besides the regional geographical challenge, there are many aspects, but we will only focus on a few here today. In any business transformation process, starting with the pain point will be the easiest approach. The ouch thing, you bring it all out, then it is the easier way. As you all notice, consumer behavior constantly changing. The pandemic accelerated our engagement with digital. During movement control, students spending more time online, while their parents and grandparents familiarize with Uber Eats, Amazon, Australia. Student expectations are evolving fast. Take my 17-year-old daughter, Carmen, digitally savvy and more connected. She already has a preconceived idea on the type of universities she wants to go. And the main reason is definitely not the university ranking. And for another example, to your surprise, in Australia and in Southeast Asia, many students, my daughter Carmen, together with Mani's 14-year-old son, they actually do not communicate using WhatsApp, maybe with their parents, but among their friends, they don't do that. Most of their exciting discussions on school related or non-school related matter is actually happening on Discord platform, a very popular platform. And their peers are all international, Indians, Europeans, Americans, and you name it. Carmen and her generations are more vocal. So institutions need to deliver consistent communication that enable richer and deeper conversation. Do you know your bank conversations are recorded by the banks? When you call the banks to troubleshoot, to do something, it was recorded. Google customer service also recorded my conversations when they try to troubleshoot my ads. And some institutions are already starting to do so. Institutions can learn a lot, and address the student concerns faster and elevate their experience towards enrollment. Institutions can convert this conversation into quantifying data to address any gap and identify any emerging trend fast. So the idea here is conversations to data. With a clear insight, institutions can easily simplify the services, simplify the content, simplifying user searches. And lastly, institutions also need to address the digital readiness gap among their own peers at every level. So we will be addressing all these challenges end-to-end students' recruitment journey from prospect to admit to convert to enroll. So let us start with prospecting. According to Pathmatic, a well-known digital marketing intelligence platform that has been tracking Australia region's university spending. Australian institutions has been spending big on digital advertising in February this year, or even January, past 2-3 months, as border reopened. But I think one of the primary reasons is February is a key month for international students intake. But with multiple intake a year, and with institutions intent on defending or expanding their market share, they will continue to spend heavily on digital marketing. International recruitment in the past mostly used a B2B model, relying on agents to advertise their products. But institutions now, they want to have more control over their brand stories. Started direct advertising on curating a more accurate students' experience. And indirectly, agencies and institutions, applications increase concurrently. As you all may know, the report, you already know, that actually the report also highlight mid-tier institutions normally spend more as compared to top-tier universities, with similar spending pattern in UK institutions. However, digital ad spending by nature is scalable and elastic, very scalable. You can put in any amount that you want. Digital platforms like Google actually encourage launching your campaign agilely with many A/B testing, rather than having a fixated approach. Why? This means many forecast planning outcomes always differ from the actual digital campaign results. Similar analogy from my superhero Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the butt. Why? Though initial planning and research are important, no doubt about it, you definitely need a plan, but the digital ecosystem sentiment is very fluid. The best practice, institutions need to diversify across platform, scale up based on which platform that can give them the best engagement or ROI, that campaign moment, rather than rigidly mimicking competitor. As you can see, the data from Pathmatic on the right-hand side of the slides again show different institutions have different budget ad spend across platform. So institutions need to be agile and constantly monitor the outcome on digital platform. Then the ROI itself will be high. Okay? So this is a very interesting aspect. Going forward, students' journey. Institutions need to create omni-channel presence from multiple dimensions. Let us start with the digital platform. The most common one, social media or the search platform. Leading the pack will be Google, YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, and etc. And I'm sure you know that student journey starts from social media search. Most of the common questions I get from institutions, which is the best platform, Simon? This is a subject that I'm very passionate about. Omni-channel targeting simply means institutions need to connect and integrate all their digital platform at the same time, giving students a strong retargeting experience. This holistic approach will provide multiple touchpoint presence for students that wherever, whatever they want. As this platform getting more and more integrated into students' daily lives, including mine. Okay? Can't live without it. Though it sounds enormous, wow, there are so many platforms to maintain. But actually, a single piece of content, say from TikTok or YouTube itself, can be easily resized, reformatted into other platforms. And each platform itself actually seeks the repetitive informations only. So this will increase institution brand awareness faster, making conversions easier. Separately on the ad spend allocation, we definitely need a different strategy, diversifying across the platform with higher budget weightage on the best ROI platform, as mentioned earlier. So this will be the first one. And the second part will be the EdTech platform, showing another interesting dimension. Leading institutions can increase more digital touchpoint, collaborating with blooming EdTech company in the recruitment segment. EdTech itself is backed by venture capitalist funding, deep pocket, offering innovative solution. But some institutions are still skeptical on collaboration. This is very similar to the early years of the rising Amazon. This aggregator offers models, many models in town, B2B, B2C, B2B, B2C, and etc. A leading EdTech will be those that is able to amplify and streamline prospecting and admission processes. But importantly, this is the most important, why students choose to engage with this platform. It simply gives them wider university choice and importantly, transparency in tracking their applications. Empowering prospect means improving students' overall experience. This is very important. Another emerging trend is the peer-to-peer marketing, where EdTech like StudyMe can connect existing with prospective students in the recruitment process. Very, very exciting platform. While institutions cannot work with every aggregator because there are many, and definitely at the end of the day, they will only few will become the next Amazon EdTech. Institutions need to assess their needs and selectively collaborate with a few, just select a few, especially in markets where institutions are lagging. This is one of the most common strategy institutions practice towards engaging the EdTech. So in the next 2 to 3 years, the EdTech space will offer some interesting products, so do watch out over here. The last and the most important dimension will be the face-to-face, either in presence or digitally. Now, when we talk about face-to-face, this is considered face-to-face already, okay? In Zoom, in Google Meets. Student recruitment business is quite personal. It is not going to be like Amazon, fully online end-to-end purchases. So EdTech is not the silver bullet. Applying the O2O model, online to offline, where potential students, including, and most importantly, their sponsors, like parents, do need personal touch from agents, in-country representative, offering extended services. So not surprisingly, with the travel restriction, past 2 years, Many institutions are collaborating with Sanam in setting regional ICR, servicing agents and students. This has minimized the application downturn in 2020 while igniting the 2021 applications. So I hope your institutions do experience these positive roller coaster trends. Online engagement overall, supplementing together with offline presence, will be able to elevate students' experience, will give all the leading institutions more edge over the competitors. The next one will be much more interesting, marketing automation. Some institutions have already successfully executed their capabilities towards direct recruiting from B to C. Institutions that succeed, we believe it is due to the ability in harnessing the marketing automation tools. Must always remember, leads or prospects do not become enrollment after clicks. Leads only become quality after continuous nurturing. Institutions can actually automate many repetitive marketing work in the nurturing phase and relocate personnel, which is in person, towards a more personalized attentions at the lower end of the funnel. One of the highlights of this digital tool will be the lead scoring model, where this tool can actually track students' digital activities across institutions' assets, digital assets. Powered with AI, it will assign students that need immediate attention rather than institutions start prospecting every single lead and giving all of them the same attentions. So this is a very, very powerful tool on the scoring side. The tool itself has a ready-built API to connect institutions' digital platform. And always remember, some of them prefer custom-built CRM institutions, but it has a limitations on the integrations. So I believe leading institutions that has these digital capabilities can easily double or triple their ROI. Here is one of the case studies. In the prospecting spectrum, Sanam had worked with more than 75 universities globally. An example, recently campaign 2021, with only 18,000 ad spend, the campaign itself achieved 10 million branding impressions, which I think is a very important metric because better brand makes sales rep, marketers, and even the agents' tasks overall easier for conversions. The campaign itself successfully achieved 700 attendees. The next phase of the student journey is admit, convert, and enroll. As I believe you know that statistically, enrollment over admission stands at 3 to 8%. 100 offer letters sent out, 3 to 8 students enroll. Leading institutions will record 8% higher, eliminating marketing waste by simply communicating efficiently with students as compared to the competitors. Just to share some real-life scenario or background of a leading institutions recently, in 2022, here recently, 2022, a few of my colleagues, Jason, Vivian, they are the in-country representative, hired by institutions and Sanam. They actually struggle to maintain positive relationship with their agency network. This is because there is a sudden huge tangible interest from South Asia and Southeast Asia in the applications. Regionally, in India, it sent off the chart record applications. So Jason and Vivian, they are constantly seeking students' application status on behalf of their agents and students, constantly. Do your institutions face the same situations? But as you know, many of the backlogs are due to incomplete documentation, slow response, confirming grading, compliance issue with increased fraudulent cases. Importantly, this backlog has caused students to experience severe delay with anxiety. Agencies started moving the applications to institutions that can communicate better and expedite the situation. Recognizing the situation, some institutions already started implementing some powerful CRM tool, digital tool like Salesforce or other EdTech tools that has the AI ability to improve communication with students and agents. These are the trends that we are seeing institutions adopting recently. But internally, institutions still need to expedite the application process. Institutions can choose by investing in a recurring huge monthly fixed cost. They start to hire people, start to look into these processes, or collaborating with Sanlam as we have the resources, technology, and a proven workflow system to overcome these situations. As you can see from the case study, we help institutions process application, expedite it with many automated email notification towards students in chasing and agents in chasing the incomplete documents. As student expectation rises, seeking quick answer, we have managed to reduce the turnaround time to 48 hours without compromising on the compliance. Why we are able to do so? How can we do it? In this solution, we can create a 360 view insight, like the dashboard presented here. Together with the institution's admissions team, tackle all the issues here together. With a proven system in place, we will continue to set daily and weekly goals together. And Sanlam also has another advantage. Due to our diverse regional presence, the context of high volume, Sanlam and institutions teams can handle the work tasks with each other efficiently. Like the campus team can start the day where the Sanlam overseas team left it. This is important, and it is also powerful in an environment of the increased risk on document verification, translation, and the familiarity with documents by the Sanlam team at the initial stage. End-to-end, it will be able to expedite the situation and improve students' experience. As we are expecting continuous growth in students' application in this region, do reach out to get a better understanding on these solutions. Ooh, that'd be great. This is the last slide, and the time to act is now. We hope this is insightful. Institutions can now calibrate or do some digital catch-up. If institutions intend to exploit technology opportunity going forward, the market itself is dynamic. Just like how tiny Amazon changes the global buying behavior. Together with Sanlam, institutions need to double down to develop a great digital experience for students at the top of the funnel. But there will still be many other challenges in this fast-paced environment. Institutions need to empower students and stakeholders to accelerate it. For example, like hand over some of the control of the social media channel, encourage innovation, and most importantly, encourage the creation of digital communities. Doing alone, it is possible, but it is hard. It is best to leverage with third-party experts, a trusted partner that can offer flexible solution to achieve institutions' ultimate goal fast. Lastly, I hope institutions can have a forward-looking perspective using technology to overall improve the student recruitment experience. With that, I end. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon, for being my passionate and very knowledgeable marketing colleague. It's fantastic to have you on with me. I really appreciate all your insights. Thank you for sharing. So, and beautifully kept to time as well. We have time for questions. so people who are on the call, you know, we've covered off the digital marketing side, so our prospecting, and then the admit, convert, enroll side as well. So we're happy to take questions from any part of that, I guess, that spectrum. The way Simon and his team operate is, I might have mentioned this at the beginning, but is a modular approach. So we help some universities only with the prospect piece. We help other universities or colleges or schools with only the GTE piece, for example. So we're very open to questions on any part of the life cycle of enrolments. Simon, do you want to come off, what do we call it, screen sharing for a moment, and we can have a quick chat while we wait for questions. I'm just checking on the Q&A. Okay. Alrighty. So maybe I'll jump in with a question then while we're waiting for one. Simon, I'm really conscious of the fact that I think in one of my first or second slides, raised the point that the challenge at the moment is volume of applications. Do you want to share with the group, why would an institution continue digital marketing activity if they're already inundated with applications? Why would they bother?
That would be a great question. I'm going to send another analogy that on this part is that while today it is sunny, we want to fix the roof to get ready for the rainy day. The overall market itself is very dynamic. We need to prepare more as competitions that is going forward. There are actually so much research and shows that when brands do stop advertising for a year or more, the sales often do decline a lot. And especially for the smaller brands, you know, typically they suffer greater declines compared to the bigger brands. I think one of the best practices for those big institutions is to have a slightly smaller allocation on the key markets now that you are expecting huge volume, relocate the resources towards other lagging potential markets. Brands really actually need to maintain the momentum, the branding momentum. A student recruitment funnel is a very, very long and a seasonal funnel itself. Yeah, that would be the best thing I can think of. Yeah.
Great, Simon, thank you. We've been asked a question here, which is on GTE. I'm just going to read it out. It says, do you undertake GTE process checks as part of your services? If so, how do you strike the balance between rigor and giving students a chance to join or to justify their situation? I might take that one, Simon, and feel free to jump in and help me out. But the short, quick answer to the first part of the question is yes, GTE processing is a very key part of our activity. In terms of how to strike the balance between rigor and giving students a chance, we follow a three-step process. Step one is about documentation, as most institutions will follow. Our step two is to then red, amber, green our students that we're working with, just to identify high risk or agents who are not normally sending, or markets that are higher risk, you know, whatever combination it may be. And then we undertake a significant number of interviews. So online interviews and sometimes face-to-face interviews. And I think that part of being in market enables us to, you know, be able to do that face-to-face or online, but also to be able to really understand the students in their own cultural context, in their own banking context, whatever it may be. So I think there is a lot around, you know, our staff being in market, and I think understanding the students and the families that they're dealing with and the scenarios that they're dealing with. Number of applications, still recommend I take digital marketing? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the question that we were chatting about before, where Simon made an analogy that was particularly relevant to Sydney at the moment, where fix your roof while the sun's shining. And the point being that, you know, institutions who stop marketing over a 12-month period, or organizations that stop marketing over a 12-month period, there is significant evidence of decline in business after that period. So an element of just, you know, maintaining your presence But I also think diversity. I think there's a lot of applications coming in at the moment from particular markets, particular countries. And so getting that diversity of student and therefore targeting your activities is obviously really important. Simon, I think that unless there's other questions, we've done a nice little succinct chat today, which I'm always in favor of, short and sweet and to the point. I'll just take 5 or 6 more seconds and just fill in the time if anyone's got any other questions. Otherwise, Simon, back to your KL day. I hope you've got a bit more sunshine than we've got here in our Sydney day. And to all of our colleagues who are listening in or watching post-event, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to contact us anytime. And it's been lovely sharing the afternoon with you, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you, Vani. Thanks a lot.
See you later. Bye-bye.